It's baseball fever time in Iowa because the Upper Deck Field of Dreams weekend is coming up next weekend. They had one last year with all sorts of stars and former pros, and it was fabulous. And we're going to talk for the next few minutes about this year's special weekend. We're going to start out talking with Randy Hundley. Randy was a catcher, of course. He had a 14-year major league career with San Francisco, Minnesota, San Diego, and the Cubs. And he also started fantasy camps. Randy, welcome to the WHO today.
Thank you very much. It's nice being with you.
Did you play last year in the Field of Dreams game?
Oh, yes. We organized, we didn't organize all of it last year, but this year Randy Hundley's baseball camps will be organizing the biggest part of it, except bringing the celebrities in.
Now tell me, what is it with these fantasy camps? I mean, why do grown men want to come and act like kids again? And isn't that basically what it is?
Well, I hope so. The reason that I think it is so popular with everybody is that I think that most males had the same dream that I had when I was a kid, and that was to be a baseball player. And I was fortunate enough to be able to play Major League Baseball. And but when the idea came to me, I remember sitting in a high school class. It just started my junior year, and I was reading the paper about Major League ball players going to Florida for spring training. And I thought, man, this is totally unfair, because I'm the one that ought to be going to play baseball, and how can grown men get paid to be a baseball player? And I'm looking out, sitting sideways, looking out the window and just daydreaming about being a baseball player. And a knock comes on the door, and somebody says there's somebody here to see Randy Hundley. And I thought, well, great, I get to get out of class for a little bit. I go down to the principal's office, and there stands this huge man, and he reaches out to shake my hand, and he said, Randy, my name is Tim Murchison, and I'm a scout with the San Francisco Giants. And I must tell you that that was probably one of the biggest thrills I've ever had in my life, when I'm sitting there daydreaming about being a ball player, and all of a sudden there's a Major League scout saying that he's interested in me.
Yeah.
And I just figured that every male had that same ambition.
So you took this dream of yours from years ago, and now it's a reality. Is this your business? Is this what you do?
This is a full-time business for me. Originated the concept 10 years ago, almost to the date, when the idea occurred to me to do a fantasy camp. And if somebody had said that we would still be doing camps 10 years later, I would have said no way at that time. But here we are. I think that the concept is growing stronger and stronger, and a lot more people are interested in it. Of course, everybody was a little bit skeptical in the beginning, and now we are even into the incentive travel business. Companies that want to use it as an incentive, and it's continuing to grow.
We have a question from Chris from Farnhamville. Go ahead. You're talking with Randy Hundley.
Yes, do you have to be a certain age, or is there an age limit in this camp, and how long is it going to last?
Okay, good question. Randy?
Chris, we basically, in our literature, we say 30 and older. And the only reason for that is that a fantasy camp is a fairly high-ticket item. We don't want anybody to think that they're going to get a Major League tryout if they come and participate in the camp. We want people to know that you're just coming to live the experience of being a ball player. And so, but we've also taken, people 20, 18, 19, whatever it may be, that have won it in a contest. The main thing is that we don't want anybody to think that it's a tryout and you're going to sign a professional contract. This particular camp in Dyersville at the Field of Dreams will be for 3 days. And that's what we call a mini camp. We do mini camps in Wrigley Field and also Busch Stadium and the new Comiskey Park, and that's basically what we're going to be doing in Dyersville.
Now, Randy, I'm sure you earn a ton of money from this, but don't you wish you were still playing baseball with the salaries they're making today?
I wish I was playing baseball, not necessarily for the salaries, but just for the opportunity to compete and play Major League Baseball again. I miss it very much. I miss the competition. I miss the camaraderie with my teammates. And, I guess I miss the money, but that's not the main thing that I miss.
Yeah. So the fantasy camp is really a way for you, too, to kind of keep your fingers in it.
It really is. It has extended my life in baseball, and it's very rewarding because invariably everybody goes away from camp and they say this is the greatest thing that I've ever done in my life, and I'm very proud of that.
Is it ever draining? This is probably going to sound like an odd question. Is it ever draining for professionals to work with amateurs? You know, because they're constantly pulling at you, I mean, talking to you, wanting a piece of you, an autograph, things like that.
Well, yes. When you're playing Major League Baseball, you better believe it's draining. And people are real quick to criticize a player because they may not be able to accommodate them like they think they should accommodate. You know, as a ball player, when you're getting ready for the game and you go over and sign some autographs, you are in a no-win situation. Because I don't care how long you stand there and sign autographs, somebody's going to be upset with you when you have to walk away and do your job.
Yeah.
The people that didn't get the autograph, all of a sudden you're a bad guy, and you're in a no-win situation. And
well, now you have a chance to give out autographs at the fantasy baseball camps too. So,
it's not quite as demanding now as it is when you're an active player.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Randy, for taking the time to talk with us. We'll look for you in Dyersville at the Upper Deck Field of Dreams weekend as you're going to be holding your baseball camp then. And on the phone line with us, I'm happy to say we have Ferguson Jenkins, the great Ferguson Jenkins. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year. He had a 19-year career, and of course, most of you know, he was a pitcher with the Chicago Cubs. And Mr. Jenkins, thanks so much for taking the time today to be with us.
Morning. How's everyone?
Great. Tell us why you're interested in being part of this this kind of reunion for you with other professional baseball players at the Field of Dreams game.
Well, last year I had an opportunity to be a participant, but I had a previous engagement, so I couldn't make it. So I set aside a couple of dates this year to make sure that I had the opportunity because it's kind of significant. A lot of the players really enjoyed themselves, and I think the nice thing about it is it's kind of nostalgic when you think about players walking through corn and coming back and playing, a 3-inning ball game.
Now, you actually do walk out from the corn, right?
I imagine that's what they did last year.
Yeah.
And from all reports, it was kind of quite an affair.
Is it the actual playing of the game that you're excited about, or just being with some old pros, or what?
Well, sure. Playing a game again, I did it for 25 years. I think that seeing a lot of the fellas that you haven't seen for a few years or maybe within a couple of weeks, because the Upper Deck puts on a lot of games during the summer months, so I've seen quite a few of the ex-ball players and Hall of Famers, so it should be fun again.
What are you doing now? Tell us about what's happened since you left the majors.
Well, I've got a ranch here in Oklahoma. I had one previous in Canada, but sold it and moved here to Oklahoma and raising cattle and quarter horses.
When you come out to games like this, at the Field of Dreams, and you have people hanging on you, they want the autographs, things like that, is that something you get excited about? Or we were just talking with Randy Hundley, and he was saying, well, when you're actually playing the game, sometimes that's a drain, but it's kind of fun to do it now.
Well, I think the game, for me, was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't get injured, so that was probably a good point in my career. Over the 19 years I pitched in the big leagues, I was only hurt once or put on the disabled list once. So the game was a lot of fun. The autograph session and the autographs are part of the game. I think once you tell yourself that you're a Major League ball player and you're on kind of display and people want your autograph, I think that you should take the time and at least service the public.
Do you do any of these baseball card conventions?
I've done a couple of conventions, but right now it's a memorabilia card shows that all the players are going to. And you sign for 2 or 3 hours and get a set fee, and people come in and get cards and bats and balls signed.
Is it harder work to pitch a game or to sign autographs for 2 or 3 hours?
Well, I think by far signing autographs.
That's harder on your arm?
A lot of different spellings and names and what they want on a picture or a ball or a card. You kind of knew what the formula was for pitching a ball game, and your routine was basically to not the same, but it was different against certain ball clubs. But signing autographs are totally different because kids want pictures and parents want their kids taking pictures with you. So other than that, it's not draining. I enjoy it.
How involved are you now in terms of watching baseball? I mean, do you have a satellite dish and you're sitting there flipping through it trying to find all the games?
Well, I have a dish, and we see a few games. I follow the Cubs and I follow Texas. Those are the main two teams that I played most of my career with. So there's some following there that I always like to see those two ball clubs or organizations play well.
Yeah. When you read something like Cal Ripken's getting over $32 million on a 5-year contract, does it make you want to be in the game today because of the money?
Well, sure. The money has been a big factor. I think the last maybe 7 or 8 years. I retired in '83, and there was decent money then. But it's a changing of the times. I at times think that these players are making a lot of money, but the agencies that negotiate the contracts and the TV revenue probably has brought that on. So I think these young fellows are deserving of the money.
Yeah. Real quickly before you have to go, can you give some advice to kids? I know there's lots of kids out there yet school hasn't started, and they want to hear some advice from a pro as to their dreams. A lot of kids, I'm sure you were like this, they dream about being in the majors.
Well, 1 in about 5,000 make it as a professional. So I would say to a lot of youngsters that have got aspirations, get that education first, work hard, and if you've got that God-given ability and there's some scouts that think you deserve to get signed professionally, then it'll happen. But other than that, work on that schoolwork and stay in school.
So you're saying have something else to do?
Definitely. You got to have something to substantiate. Once you get 19, 20 and the professional level is not going to happen, I think that education is a very good point to get across, especially if you got a high school education and then go on to college, because it's a tough world, and you've got to have a decent education to get any kind of good jobs nowadays.
Yeah, that's good advice. Well, thanks, Mr. Jenkins, for taking the time to talk to us, and we'll see you in Dyersville at the Field of Dreams game.
Pleasure.
Stay tuned to WHO Radio.